So you can see the sign up there, stadium event. I think they have a match going at 7 p.m. tonight. And here's the San Tomas Aquino Creek Trail. I don't know if you can see the closed sign down there. That's Agnew Rd. So this is more of the pedestrian bypass. So this is Mission College. So the pedestrian bypass takes you across here to Great America Parkway, and then you go down Great America. The official bike detour goes off that way on Agnew, and then you go up Lafayette and then back to the trail. This is my preferred bypass, at least if it's not raining. I'll show you why a little bit later, but yeah, there goes a side-by-side full of security people. There's a bike lane along Mission, and then there's a nice traffic light when you cross Great America, and then it's a pretty easy ride after that. Okay, yeah, the light up there, that's Great America Parkway. So you ride down Mission about half a mile roughly, and then basically this is a big loop here. You've got Mission College, and there's just a big loop around it. There's a big shopping center, movie theater and whatnot on that side. So I usually prefer this side here, and you just ride around till you get to the far corner there, and then I'll fire up the camera, show you where the Calabazas Creek Trail entrance is. Okay, so this is what's called the Calabazas Creek Trail. There's no signs or anything to tell you what it is. Here's Mission College in here, and I came around this way. Not bad traffic. There's just a couple of police, watching all the entrances to the parking lots, keeping people out of there, I guess. You can see way down there is Highway 101, and if you come around the other side, you come down this long straightaway, and right at this corner is where you pick up the trail. And so this trail just runs north along Calabazas Creek, which is over the wall there. There's a couple of tricky parts here where you have to drop down for an underpass, and there'll be like the paved trail up here, but it runs into a street, and like one of the streets I think has the light rail tracks on it, so you can't really cross over easily on the street. You've got to take the underpass. But as long as it hasn't been raining recently, the trail is dry. Oh, okay, they're just doing some work on the trail. July 2nd. They're gonna reseal the asphalt. That's good. So that's July 2nd. There's an event on July 1st, and I think that's the last of the World Cup events. This crossing here, you have to take the underpass. I think this side is pretty good. It's gravel all the way down, but underneath the road there where the train just went over, it can get pretty muddy, and then the other side is pretty steep climb out of there. And then you can see way in the distance, that's Highway 237, and that's the other one you have to go under. Okay, yeah, this is about the end of the trail. So if you want, you can actually ride the whole trail on the dirt. There's a road right along the creek level that you can take all the way up there. And then the last two sections here, you just drop down under. This is Old Mountain View Alviso Road, and then you just stay down and go under Highway 237. Okay, there's where you come under 237 there. So it wasn't too bad this time. When I came under during the Super Bowl back in February, there's a lot of cattails that grow up under there. You can see a big bunch of cattails. They were all over in there, and they had all fallen down. But they've kind of cleaned it out now. But this is where it can get bad if it's rained recently, because that can just turn into a mud pit in there. But then this is where you come out on the Bay Trail here. So it's just a little gap in the fence, and you want to go up the east side here. There's also a gap in the fence on the west side, but it doesn't go all the way through, as I recall. But yeah, you just have to kind of remember this spot if you're going back the other way, because like I say, there's no sign. The San Tomas Aquino Creek Trail is down right along that bank there. That's where it comes out. I don't know if you can see the sign on the freeway. The next road up is Lafayette. If you want to go on the other side of the creek trail, is just go up Lafayette and then go down that way on the Bay Trail. But if you're headed to the west, the easiest way is to come over here, come out, and then drive off that way. Normally I just try to avoid this whole area if it's an event day because it's so busy, but I figured I'd come down here just to shoot the little clip of this bypass here. Yeah, if you have any questions about the route here, post up in the comment section below. Okay, I just thought I'd show you the other bypass that I have for the stadium events. This is what's called the Guadalupe River Trail, and this is the west side of the trail. It's gravel. The east side over there, you see those people walking, that's paved. What you want to do is come down here a couple of miles and there's this little park here, and you can take this trail down, and then there's another park along here. So yeah, you can just take any of these roads across here and you'll run into Agnew, and then just take Agnew Road to the right. You'll cross Lafayette, and pretty soon you'll hit where the creek trail crosses, and that's where it's closed with the event. And then you can just take a left and go south on the trail. If you want to come down Guadalupe and you want to stay on paved, you can just go on the east side of the trail, and then right down there is a bridge across the river, so you can cross there. But yeah, I'm just going to head down here, and then you just kind of work your way along through the park, and then there's some apartment buildings, and you pick your way through, and pretty soon you'll hit Agnew. Just thought I'd show you the other bypass here.